So we have Tony Garoppolo here. I just saw him sit down a second ago, and the first thing that came to mind is, boy, being an electrician is almost like a time machine. It keeps you unbelievably young.
It's just on the outside.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. He's been doing it for 15 years. Tony, how long did you do it?
40 years.
40 years. So let's talk about how you got started. What was that moment when you said, this is what I want to do?
Well, I went to junior college, then went to a 4-year school. After a couple of months, decided this wasn't the route I was going to take. And my parents were like, well, you got to either get into trades or work for one of the utilities or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I just went searching, and one of my father's friends owned an electrical contracting shop and gave me an opportunity. And after a little time there, I applied and got into the electrical apprenticeship program in Chicago. Mm-hmm. And 40 years later, I was retiring.
Yeah. And so a life well spent?
Oh, I look back, and it was the best move I made. I just wasn't college material. It didn't interest me. I didn't know what I was going to be, what I was going to do. And once I got into this, it all sort of just fell together, and it was a great way to make a living.
Yeah. And so what sort of electrical work did you specialize in? Were you just general, or were you specific?
No, it was pretty general. Started out with room additions and new houses, and then got into the industrial, commercial, some expo work, hotel work, a little of everything.
Yeah. And so as far as your other kids, I mean, is Jimmy your one and only, or do you have other kids?
No, I have 4 boys. Jimmy's one of 4. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I didn't push enough to get them into the trades at that time. I think I was too busy working, and they were going to school. And Jimmy and another son of mine, Mike, they went on to college to play sports. Mm-hmm. The other 2 both went on to college also. My one son is an architect, and they're doing well for themselves also.
And that's all that really matters, right?
Correct.
And that is, it's funny. I don't know if you've ever played the board game Life, where you get to choose the college path or the non-college path. And, even that game makes you believe that if you don't go to college, you're not going to be much in life. And the exact opposite is true, correct?
I agree with you. And I think maybe it was my generation that pushed our kids thinking they should go to college. Everyone go to college, but then all of a sudden, when you're coming out of college and you got over $100,000 in debt, right, and you may not even know what you're getting into then. So this is a wonderful opportunity for a lot of young kids that maybe they don't have the money, maybe they don't have the feeling to do good in school. They're not a suit and tie guy, whatever. It's an alternative. And the killer is the country needs workers, and we just don't have them.
Right. And every time I hire a tradesperson to do anything that's beyond my abilities, I marvel at their efficiency, their knowledge. They're not, getting hurt every day in the process. Right. It's not, it's a great job. It's the problem solving job. So let me ask you this. Jimmy grew up watching you go to work every day, knowing what you did every day. Do you think it taught him any lessons above and beyond how to be an electrician? Did you come away with any life lessons watching you? I
think definitely it did. I used to tell him how many kids come out of our suburb and play in the NFL. And, it's not like you just show up and, maybe throughout his life he could show up for Little League or football or whatever, and he was one of the better players. But I said, all of a sudden you're going to college and now everyone's a good player. So it's going to take some work. And I'll tell you, he was someone that he worked night and day and to achieve what he did. He didn't just walk in. He wasn't the best athlete. He wasn't the best thrower or whatever, but through the work, and hopefully it rubbed off from me and his mother, he got to this.
That's fantastic. So Rosemary was asking us via text what some of the biggest changes you've seen in the industry over the past 40 years. So developments.
Oh, well, tools themselves, right? I got to throw a shout out to Klein tools. I mean, tools back when I started was totally different. Just from the ruler, retractable tape measure, that wasn't even seen on the jobs. Just the power tools, all kinds. I would say the tools are the biggest change to me. And the other thing would be the safety. Did some crazy things back in the day. Didn't think twice about it. Someone told you to go up there and do it. It was like, that's the job. That's what you're supposed to do. But today there's a lot more safety taken, and it's good.
That's good. Well, hey, so I think I just heard your son, Jimmy, laughing. You probably came home lit up a couple times going, what happened to you, Dad?
Oh yeah.
The cuts on the hands were the worst. It blew my mind, I remember.
Yeah, now they wear gloves.
Yeah, that's one of the keys, man. Besides the back in the workplace, the hands are the number 2 most injured things. So you got to wear gloves.
Right.
There's a hot tip for you. And even quarterbacks are wearing gloves these days. Jimmy, what's up with that?
Yeah, not much. I've done the left glove a couple times. I don't understand how they do it on the right hand, but that's each his own, right?
Right. I mean, I can't even imagine you couldn't even feel the ball. So thanks for joining us, and thanks for providing so many great moments in football. I grew up a NFC West fan, and so I've watched the 49ers all my life, and you are exciting to watch, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys having me on today. It's been a very fun day.
Yeah. So what was it like watching your dad as an electrician as a kid? Like, we all have role models as our parents, and you hear the stories at the dinner table and stuff. So what were you thinking when you thought about your dad and the path he chose in life?
Well, it made for a phenomenal life for me and my brothers, at least. Just, what my dad was able to do work-wise and coach us at the same time during sports and just everything in between. It was really impressive. And I think as a young kid, you see that, and you see the time he puts into it, the early mornings, the late nights, and working the side jobs, all those things that go into being an electrician or any of the trades. It just, as a young kid, it rubs off on you. And I think it really helped me with my football career and all sports in general. Just, it helps you realize nothing's going to be given to you. You got to go out and earn it, type of thing. And I don't think all kids get that opportunity to see that at such a young age.
Right. Well, so you're living the culmination of many a dream of kids these days. They all want to either design an app that's going to make them $1 million. They want to be a professional athlete. They want to be a model, whatever. But the reality is, so few people make it, right? But the common denominator is hard work. So what's your advice for a kid as they're searching for a path these days?
I would say start with dream big, dream whatever you want to dream, and don't let anyone tell you any different. If you want to do something in life, you can do it. You truly have to believe inside that this is what I want and this is how I'm going to do it. And you have to have a plan, lay out goals, surround yourself with good people. I think those all play a role. But if you put your mind to something and you truly work at it and give it everything you got, I mean, you can't not succeed.
Yeah, you didn't get to. Is Dustin still with us?
Yes, dude. Thank you so much for saying that.
There's the face right there.
Thank you so much for saying that.
Yeah, because Dustin was saying that his credo on the job site has been, coming up the 15 years he's been an electrician, is to always ask questions of the people that look like they really know what they're doing to advance your knowledge. Mm-hmm. And so the same can be said for professional sports, right? Where you have quarterbacks that, will mentor or lead the team and then mentor others coming up, showing them leadership. So it really is, I guess, no matter what profession you choose, you should just try to do the best job you can, like Jimmy said. And then, like you said, Dustin, be a leader.
It's kind of, me personally, I stepped into basically an apprenticeship role with going to New England, learning from Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. It was a picture perfect scenario for me. But when I say surround yourself with good people, when you get an opportunity like that, ask the questions. You might not get that opportunity again. You might not meet that person again. And when you have that opportunity, you got to take advantage of it. Learn what you can while you can, and then apply it to your own game. Not everything works for everybody, but take parts of everyone's game and put it towards your own, and you'll end up with a pretty good result.
Yeah, I think it's just so awesome that you are involved in National Signing Day, because you had your own signing day experience back with Illinois Eastern, right? Or Eastern Illinois. So you had that moment in time where you had to commit to something. Tell me about how you feel for these kids these days making this big move. What do you think they're feeling?
I mean, if they're feeling anything like I felt, it's a lot of anxiety, excitement, unknown. You really, I mean, you know what you're stepping into, but you don't truly know until you're in it. And I think electrician, quarterback, whatever it is, learning from the people that came before you is a huge part of it. And I think the more questions you could ask to them, the more you could learn from them just by watching and being there with them. I think you can apply it all to your game or to your trade, whatever it is, and use it going forward.
Yep. And just like in pro athletics, you got to show up every day and do the best job you can, because if you don't show, there's somebody waiting to take your job, right?
Oh yeah, very quickly too. So you got to bring your A game.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for being such a great energy for this, both you and your dad. I mean, the dad, 40 years experience in the trades, and still, I mean, your future is looking bright, Jimmy, because look how awesome he looks. I mean,
so I keep telling myself.
Yeah. So do you have any parting wisdom, Tony, for the kids?
Take this as an opportunity. Don't look at it as anyone's giving you anything. You're just, because you're signing this letter doesn't mean it's all done. Now the real game begins. It's 8 for 8. Come ready to work. And I wish them the best.
And how about you, Jimmy? Parting advice?
I would say just, guys, this life you go through one time. I'd make the best of the situation you're in. It's one of those things. Dream as big as you can. Go after that dream and give it everything you got. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to look back and have any regrets. You don't want to second guess anything. Just run with it, have fun with it, and it's a special day, guys. I remember going through it. You guys are going through it today, so enjoy the moment.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you in the Super Bowl this year, man.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
Do it. All right. And how about you, Dustin? What's your advice? You're a dad.
Man, let's finish on that note. That was perfect. I can tell you have a great mind, and I can tell where your head's at, and just to see where you've come in your career, bro, that mental game, that's good on you. I appreciate you closing with that. Thank you.
Definitely. Appreciate you guys.